Hello everyone, it's Khaled. Welcome to today's daily pitch, 20 of Feb 2026. Let's dive into the latest economic events, technicals, and see what's moving the markets. Of course, we will start with our economic calendar and see what we have as pre-planned economic events for today. We will analyze DXY, the US equities, and then we will be moving on to gold. So guys, looking at our economic calendar, we see that we had some important economic data for the UK, for the Eurozone, and what will be more important, of course, is the PCE or inflation data for the US. Scanning the economic data quickly, we can see that the retail sales for the UK came in better than expected. We had some PMIs for the Eurozone as well. France, it came in better than expected, but still below the 50 grade point. For Germany, slightly above grade point. For the manufacturing, the services is doing good at 53. For the Eurozone, we had the manufacturing at 50.8, while the services at 51.8, lower than the forecasted 51.9. Moving on during the day, we have the PCE and GDP. The PCE for the US is expected to stay at the 2.8%, while the Fed's target is at 2%. So we have to keep this in mind. Looking at the general economic outlook, the DXY, we will analyze it together. The treasury yields is bouncing here, and this is mainly due to the FOMC minutes. We will discuss this later. And for the VIX is at the 20. There is some kind of fear in the market related to what is happening with the AI, the fear from the huge capex in the AI, and of course the geopolitical tensions, specifically between the US and Iran. For the DXY, this analysis was shared with you with one of our videos breaking down the FOMC minutes meeting. The FOMC minutes showed that the Feds were more hawkish than expected. Some members were focusing on increasing the interest rates, keeping in mind that after the Fed saw that the unemployment data and non-farm payroll are relatively stable and dropping, now the shift is once again on the inflation. We all know that the Feds have the dual mandate, which is the balancing between controlling inflation and keeping the employment in its best shape. So right now the Feds are focusing on inflation. Inflation is still above the target, and after we had some hawkish comments regarding from the Fed members, we can see that the dollar index is making such movement and currently at the 97.8, almost approaching the 98. I will be deleting this analysis. As for today's data, in case the numbers came in lower than expected, the inflation numbers lower than expected, we could see that the dollar index doing such price movement. Breaking lower, and we could be retesting once again the 97. While if the inflation numbers are higher than expected, this will be reflected positively on the US dollar, saying that the Feds could keep interest rates higher for longer. And my next target, the first one will be the 98.6, and in case we have the momentum, my next target will be at the 99 to 99.2. So these are the scenarios regarding the inflation data. Of course, if the numbers are just similar to expected, we will see just price consolidating, nothing very important. This is it for the DXY. The DXY strength is mainly related to what I mentioned regarding the FOMC. Let's move on to the US equities and see what is going on. I will be looking at the Nasdaq for now. The Nasdaq has been consolidating and failing to print any new highs. This was our old analysis. Let's delete it. Okay, the chart is clean right now. So regarding the Nasdaq, why Nasdaq is not printing any new all-time high? There is fear from the market participants and traders regarding the AI and technology. Last 2 weeks ago, whenever one of the several big companies were announcing their earning, although the earning was better than expected, but they had a huge capex. They were making huge investments in billions of dollars, and the investors were asking, okay, They are investing this huge money. What is the expected profitability? That's why we are seeing that there is some negative pressure on the Nasdaq, and at the same time we had some positive movement on Dow Jones. Nasdaq is mainly concentrated on the technology sector, while Dow Jones is more related to the safe sectors like the banking and others. So the scenarios for Nasdaq are the following. I will be marking this as an important area or important zone, which is around the 24,000. I will be looking for the following price action in case we dig a little bit deeper and retest the 24,000 or 23,900, fail to break or have any intraday candle closing lower. I will be looking for the following price action, with my first area of interest is the 25 once again. This will be marked as a minor resistance. Scenario number 2, or the second area of interest I will be looking for on Nasdaq, is the following. In case we are able to break below this level, we have an intraday candle bearish closing below the 24,000. I believe we could be moving down, and our next target will be the 22,900. It's very important, an intraday candle closing like this, next candle making an upper wick, and I will be looking for such reaction here at this level. And finally, what if we are back to the bullish momentum on the US equities? Back to the bullish momentum, breaking higher, I will be looking for the retest of the 26,000, approximately 26,300, these all-time highs, and I will be very cautious whenever we reach these all-time highs once again. In case we do not have any fundamental catalyst supporting this movement, a lower inflation, for example, could be supporting this movement, I will be cautious to see any profit-taking move similar to what we had here, and we could have once again. So in general, the main areas of interest I will be looking for is the 24,000, 22,900, and the all-time highs at the 26,300. I wanted to share, I had this analysis that was previously shared with you on TradingView. You can see that it's playing out really well. The market consolidated, the UJ just consolidated at this level, failed to break lower, and currently we are moving higher. Of course, for anyone who took this trade, I will be securing some profits here, moving stop loss to break even, and then keeping a runner, either closing fully here or wait if you want to take a higher take profit. Finally, let's move on to gold. Before we move on to gold, if you like our content, don't forget to leave us a like, follow, and subscribe. And if you want us to analyze any currency pair, you can type for us in the comment section and we can make the analysis together. Let's move on to the metals and see what is going on with gold. Gold has been consolidating for the past week. Of course, currently gold is gaining some momentum due to the geopolitical tensions, specifically, as I said, between the US and Iran, and the peace talks between Russia and Ukraine is not doing the best. That's why gold currently broke above the 5,000 at the 5,030. We have a very important level at the 5,100. I would like to watch out for the price action here to see, in case we reach this level, we fail to break, we could be seeing something like this, similar to this price movement here. We could have it here. The gold bullish momentum could be supported by two factors, I believe. Number one, new geopolitical tensions, having an intraday candle closing above the 5,100. In my opinion, we could be visiting this area here. And in case today we had lower than expected inflation data, this could be supporting that the Feds could be cutting interest rates. This will be reflected, of course, weakness on the US dollar and strength on gold. With the lower than expected inflation, I don't expect to see such price movement like this. I expect to see, even if we break above the 5,100, I will be watching. Let's zoom in a little bit to the lower time frame. I will be monitoring here these areas. At the 5,250. The final scenario on gold, what is if inflation is higher than expected? This supporting what we heard in the Fed meeting, giving dollar strength, and we are seeing a gold movement down. For gold, in case we are able to break above the 4,850, and it is a very important level. If I see an intraday candle closing below this level, I will be looking for the following price action with my next area of interest at the 4,660. These are the areas of interest I will be looking for on gold. I know they are relatively big areas, but I don't recommend trading with this range. I would either wait for price to reach the 5,100 or to reach the 4,860. So guys, that's it for today. This is it for our episode. Watch out for the price action. Remember, today we have the important economic data. Trade safe, and we will see you with a new analysis session next week. Thank you so much for joining.